last night, and there was thousands of people lined up along the fence line here, just oohing and ahhing over the short operation. So coming here, traveling long distances to do, I know some people have actually where they have this competition.
Actually, the couple that puts it on for us and keeps us from just north of Anchorage. Lined up time-wise, but a number of us stole competition in Alaska, and that was true stole. Give you the exact date.
So it's been
that they couldn't. Too many people, too many airplanes, so they. Which is the flying is great. Have a lot of wonderful systems. A number of us have been to Alaska and competed in the Valdez. And now we have several people that come down from Valdez to help put it on down here, so we all enjoy it.
You know, I've watched some YouTube videos of the stole competition with Valdez up there, and I notice it looks to me like the wind is always howling. Is the wind just always howling there?
Well,
it looks windy.
Of course, we all love to put our noses into the wind and take off into the wind because it helps our. No, I wouldn't say it always howls, but normally while the weather's cool, we have some breeze in Valdez, and certainly it's the ultimate place to show off for short takeoffs and landings. But we've had 2 great evenings here and expect to have another couple. We'll fly again tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock and again on Friday again at 8 o'clock. So anybody that would like to see some airplanes just out having fun and taking off short, well, please come down to the ultralight field on the grass and watch us, and that helps us.
You know, I'm real curious about the types of airplanes that we're flying out here, Ed. You know, I mean, last night when I was out here, I heard the announcer say that there's a Cub out there, but it maybe had a 100 horsepower engine, and I know, Jeff, you got a PA-11. Would that be something that you'd be interested in doing, maybe? Or?
I would probably have to modify my PA-11 to do what they're doing. I think most of you guys have you have modified over there, and that airplane, he's lighting that thing. I don't think he's taking everything off the airplane other than what's necessary to actually fly.
Tell us a little bit about the types of planes and what you do to make them really.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll cover that in just a second. J-Mon G, we're on the fly now. Ultralight runway. We're literally right in front of the ultralight runway in the fun fly zone. You're listening to On the Fly on EAA Radio.
I'm Jack Hartman, Chairman and CEO of EAA Air EAA Radio.
Support for EAA Radio comes from Scheme Designers, specializing in interior design and models, working with each design photos and contact information can be found on their Facebook page under Scheme Designers and at Scheme. Visit them on the AirVenture Oshkosh grounds in Hangar C at booth 3056. Thanks to Scheme Designers Inc. for supporting.
In Oshkosh.
I like Wisconsin.
We live stream to every continent on the globe. We'll always have ads. Let us know where you're. Tag us with @EAA Radio. or post to our Facebook page.
Good afternoon, Oshkosh. Their standards of safety and inclusion. There may be opportunities that exist in corporatization that may provide opportunities to realize the modernization that we are all looking for, but not all pilots agree with ALPA. TJ is an airline pilot who says privatization has hurt aviation in other countries.
You know, you can look at other countries that have privatized ATCs, Canada and stuff like that, and I mean, they have almost no GI traffic whatsoever, so I'm not sure.
Endeavor and SkyWest Airlines all declined our request for a comment. Another problem facing the runway is there may be a pilot shortage, depending on who you talk to. Some airlines say they are struggling to meet hiring quotas. Company problem. Endeavor Air's Director of Talent Acquisition and Development, Jenny Zaras, says not enough young people are pursuing a career as a pilot.
Well, I would say yes, there is, and there's going to be. We have a lot of pilots that are getting ready to retire. You know, our pilots that are leaving, so we need to bring new talent on board.
Tonight, the last surviving veteran of the famed Doolittle Raiders mission of 1942, whether the flight of 16 B-25 bombers. Reporting for Spencer Schott.
J-Mod G. Flying zone. And Tim Bogenhagen and I are just hanging out under. And we're talking about Stoll. Well, and we were just saying during the break how, you know, these guys, right? You can take off just as short as a helicopter can, probably. Right, Ed?
What do you think, Ed? Tell us how short your plane can take off in.
Yeah, we were talking about numbers, but nobody actually said a number.
Well, take off nearly as short as a fixed-wing aircraft. I used to be quicker reflexes and everything, so we have an awful lot of fun doing it, but I think most of them 100 feet and most of them were down in the 50 and 60 foot range. Longer than our takeoffs, they are ranging around 100 feet, I suppose, for the kind of the average. A few of them shorter than that. Certainly have a lot of fun doing it.
I'm curious when you do that landing now. I see so many of you with your tail still up in the air and you're heavy on the brakes. Are you just mashing those brakes or are you tickling?
Once our main gear is as short as possible, and that requires a lot of braking. With braking and you're over on your nose and putting nasty bends in the propeller, so we try not to do that. We the airplane nose up and straight forward. Braking is certainly that's a big part of the stopping. Probably the biggest part of landing is learning how to hit the line, because if you over the line, you're disqualified, so that's called a DQ. Nobody wants so hard to get over the line before our main wheels touch, and then get on the brakes as much as we can and stop as short as have a cable. We don't have any cables out here, but what we try to do is as good a job and shortest job as we can about stopping. Flying a fairly stock Piper Super Cub, and there's several other guys, you know, with a variety of aircraft, and I'll turn it over to these two gentlemen standing here with me to let
What we got here now?
We got Joe Pops Dory. Joe, where are you from?
I'm from out in Nevada. You know, it really kind of starts out as a life. Bill Duncan, the guy that invented the bush wheel, we all have big bush wheels, and we all suck about the whole lifestyle, you know. I've heard they're expensive. Oh, we're talking lots of money. They're expensive, and we don't like to run them on the pavement much and stay in the grass, and you know, get them on there and wheels and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is once you get those on there, the lifestyle is you're just everywhere you go, you're looking down. I know you do this. You say, I can land there.
I love that. You know, I fly a little Quad City Challenger, a nice light plane, and I can set her down in a lot of short places.
And then, you know, that okay, now I can land there, but I'm going a little faster on that. Your motor, so you get back an ongoing, never-ending thing. You put in a real
Like the videos, you know, and people can watch this on YouTube. There's lots of videos and this stuff on YouTube. Gravel bars and water skiing on your tires up onto the gravel bar. Super short. You're using the water for a while, and then
mountaintops, you know, the wind blows the snow off the mountaintops. And one that's not too rocky. Elevation.
You don't worry about
perfect spot.
You don't worry about mountain roaders up there.
Oh yeah. You learn the hard way usually. Oh.
Plane, at a standard plane, you can do experimentals though too, right?
That's what mine is. Mine's an experimental Super Cub, so I can kind of, you know, bolt anything up. I've had regular Super Cubs, but my son, who's signed off my this stuff anymore, you need an experimental Cub because I'm not going to sign this off anymore. All this
too
stuff
many field approvals.
Yeah.
All right, so who do we have here? Jason.
Carbon Cubs that I built. Probably my biggest. Fully on, and so that initial hit, the suspension aren't touching the ground, your brakes aren't doing anything. On the ground, during landing. It's relatively kind of the typical thing. Somebody was making shocks for off-road vehicles, and they happen to have a Super Cub, and they said, well, shoot, I could bolt it.
How it starts.
That's how it goes.
So
options there, but it's basically I've been playing around with propellers and
next for you to check.
not that
A little bit of competition here. You guys are serious about technology involved in just trying to take off and land as short as you possibly can.
Yeah, and coming up with all these new ideas, from other things and applying them to.
well, I've got suspension. It's a mountain bike shock, coil-over mountain bike shock on the tail wheel. And so if I pick up my tail to flight attitude and drop it, it sticks. It doesn't have that suspension. You'll get a boing, boing,
That's the big thing. When you land, you don't want any bounce. You want to suck to the ground.
You're always going to get a little hit and then a lift. The brakes are doing something for you.
Keeping that tail up in the air, then that decreases your angle of attack, less likely to bounce.
Really, well, what happens to me on landing is I've got a lightweight tail, and the tail just at some point it weighs nothing, and then you go over. So at flight attitude or lower, and still be able to. I've been close, but
Customer. You're a detector. I'm ordering them pretty regularly from.
See, I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. Wear helmets, they prepare as much as they can to not get burned. But when you're running to do anything, you have to be able to position. You know, if you're learning how to do braking properly, there is no second chance. You either do it right and you don't hurt the airplane, or you do it wrong and that's very expensive, and then you got to go do it again.
The best way is kind of ease into it slowly. Yeah, small steps. When you start taking big steps, we're tearing up airplanes a little bit once in a while in that learning stage. And even in the, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still doing it.
Well, luckily you have a son who's an EMP. Out there and fix my plane. Look at it again.
Well, that's cool. You slowly work up to being home built. You know, you slowly. Your test period, you've expanded all those. Pretty cool.
What's really interesting is like as off airport, so you'll find some little spot.
Well, guys, I guess we should just recap and encourage people to get down here to the Fun Fly Zone Thursday night, Friday night, the Flight Fest at 8 p.m. Registration, is that correct?
Yep.
Us down here in the Fun Fly Zone. Guys. Yeah.
Aspen Avionics, Aspen's Evolution 2500 system. This easy-to-use glass cockpit. Aspen provides an upgrade path to new features and capabilities, protecting your investment for the long haul. Aspen Avionics, affordable, easy to install, and easy to own. On the AirVenture grounds in Exhibit Building B.
Hello, enthusiasts. Granny Belcrank here with AirVenture. Look at what's hanging from your neck. Look into the window of an airplane on exhibit, but if your glasses or your camera are dangling from your neck, then the window scratch very easily, just like me. So hold on to whatever's around your neck before you peek in the window, and make sure it's just airplane windows you're looking through, young man.
Hot Start takes off daily at 8 a.m. with our resident gearheads, Digital Dave and Fast Eddie. Listen in performers and newsmakers in AV. Dave and Eddie, each day.
Raymond G is on the fly each day, cruising the grounds at EAA AirVenture from north, south, east to west. Hear interviews live from the flight line, near warbirds, and more. You're on the fly daily at 1 p.m. here on EAA Radio.
This is Ramon Hamad, and you are listening to EAA Radio. We're in thunderstorms in the forecast as the Monday weather continues with a hot 83. West-southwest surface with a humidity of 74%. 100% with the day. Thank you for listening to EAA Radio.
All day and every day. Informative forums on aviation enthusiasts. Proceed north past the control tower to the form tent locations. The following forums begin today at 2:30. RC Aircraft, a lifelong camps and chiefs. The Mosquito Kit Helicopter. Air camping essentials by Skytree. First trip to Canada or Mexico. Dine on products for certified campers. In the following workshops today at 2:30 include how to use Ortex correctly. Castle Bracer, maintain short weight gas welding 101. AirVenture is the place to build or hear the best flying story ever. On the fly.
We are at the Fun Fly Zone. We're lucking out. It's not raining. Airplane, helicopter, rotorcraft. As much is balloons. Balloons don't make a lot of noise. That's kind of...
Yeah, let's talk balloons. Just because of the beauty of that huge envelope up there and the colorfulness. So.
A glow, a night glow. What we call it, it's a glow operation. We just stand there static. Exciting, isn't it? Well, for the crowd it is. Of course, it's a lot of fun for us too. It's just an opportunity to meet people and have some interaction and fun with it.
Yeah. Who are here at AirVenture with their hot air balloons, and they're flying here places throughout. Stood up 9 hot air. They pop a tube
right after the Bare Naked Ladies concert.
Right. Well, it was during the Bare Naked. A while, and we're front of the ultralight where they set up tethered balloons, where they expand the envelope and they talk to the noise. Look at that flame. Views are being thrown out there, so.
Light Fest?
Yeah. Bob O'Brien. Bob?
Oh, Oshkosh? Definitely, probably about 10, 12 years Oshkosh. This way that much from there, but...
And we've been doing balloons here at Oshkosh in a fun fly zone, and we have with... Hello, how you doing?
Where are you from, Don?
I'm from northern Wisconsin, Florida. It's not quite local. It's 130 miles north. Very happy in that area. I'm probably the only balloonist within 100 miles of that area, so it's a pretty.
Make me nervous not to be able to fly over something that I could land on. That's intense.
Take my head off on that one.
Ballooning goes way back, way before. Share a little bit of that history with us, Bob. What is that?
Basically, when we talk aviation, 1903, the Wright brothers. In the balloon world, we kind of scoff at that a little and say there was another set of brothers. They designed and built the first manned flight, which was a hot 1783. So
1783. That's the difference there. Yeah, yeah, we're very proud of
Balloon up in the air. What
exactly what fire is how they did it. They built the fire pit directly under the balloon, heated it up, super hot, and then they and flew the balloon. They flew approximately miles, landed out in the very successful. And it was causing little fires, little sponges, wet sponges, putting out the fire. So it was a for them. Definitely an interesting flight. Yes. We need crew. I mean, there's just absolutely. It's a very family-oriented sport. Fortunately, Don has family. We include our friends in this. We fly some of our crew. Some of our crew has to chase us while we're out flying. It's
back where you took off from, or is it always someplace different?
Can we? Yes. I have occasion with certain what we call a box win, where we go out and are 180 of that, and you work your way back. I've actually once in Lyle.
So cool to feel.
It was interesting. That was.
Now, before you go flying, is that just something you check out in while you're
for it in the air? I mean, we're very sensitive to the weather conditions. We're launching our balloon. We call that our pie ball, and using that pie ball conditions are. We're checking it for that isn't going to like these
right.
Are the looking. We do not want to head the space here within a given amount of time. Space to open up for fixed wing aviation, and so we have wind speed that we're looking for. We have a unique event when it does occur. Awesome to us because now we really get to show our stuff.
Yeah.
But
how was that flight?
Oh, it was just amazing. It really was. We had he had a nice, long, safe. Yeah, and you did that flight. What do you think of it?
Team Cam Shoulder, and we had on vacation. Would you like to come cruise me? So he came cruise me a few days, and then I said, well, you've earned a ride. It's usually how it. And we've been friends now. 4 years ago, I had been a fixed wing. And I had never seen a balloon in my entire life. I've been around aviation my entire. Oh my gosh! I said, EAs that come cruise with us. They showed me the ropes, literally. I told my wife that we're buying a balloon.
I took her for a ride. We landed. And she said, "We're getting a balloon." Fast track, got my license, and thanks to EAA, that form of flight. Safety goes, and it's really family oriented.
You can't just take off, go fly around the pattern and come back.
No. They're like, "Oh, you didn't land." I landed in the shade this time. It was gone. They're in a hot air balloon.
So it is interesting, you know. It is a busy moment or two for us when you're organizing, when you're.
How about when you're in the air, though?
Yeah, you get to the point to where now you get to launch, you take it, go, and you just go out and enjoy the moment. And it is just totally enjoyable. I mean, some of the most serene. I mean, I'm relaxed, I'm having fun with my passengers, I'm just, it is just an inspiring moment or two for me, and I really, really get a thrill out of doing it. I've been doing this 20, 25 years, 30, don't like to say how old.
Unique balloon, don't you, Bob? Tell us about your unique balloon.
Let's take a quick break, Tim, and we'll come back and talk about his balloon. How's that? At the Fun Fly Zone, it's down south. It used to be called Ultralights. Head south, there's a tram. You can get down here on the tram. There's a big tower that says, head south and join us here.
CEO of EAA to EAA Radio. Send us a tweet at EAA Radio or leave a comment on the EAA Radio Facebook. On the radio or halfway around the world, hearing the live wish all over the world, and we will touch. On privatization week, starting with a rally on Monday with several general aviation groups calling for modernization, not privatization. Has had a more moderate position. ALPA's professional development chairman Richard Swindle says they would support their standards of safety and inclusion. But not all pilots agree with ALPA. Privatization has hurt aviation in other countries.
You know, you can look at other countries that have privatized ATCs, such as Canada and stuff like that, and I mean, they have almost no GA traffic whatsoever, so I'm not sure it's the best way to go for the U.S.
Compass, Endeavor, and SkyWest pilot shortage, depending on who you talk to. Some Director of Talent Acquisition and Development, Jenny Zaras, a career as a pilot.
Well, I would say yes, there is, and there's going to be. This is retirement. Our pilots that are leaving.
The last surviving veteran of the famed Doolittle Raiders, weather permitting, the raid will B-20.
fun fly zone, and it is fantastic down here. Tim Bogan.
For being here. We're having a good time. It's a beautiful day down here in Oshkosh in the runway. We're watching the
But let's get back to the balloons. I was asking about the sensation when you're in the basket, and just describe to the listeners what that sensation in the basket. Falling.
Right. Yeah. There is, you know, there's a little bit of anxiety with elevators, even, etc. And truthfully, it's so gentle that the sensation is very limited. As soon as you come up to the same, you can tell you're moving is to look at the ground. And truthfully, you is the term that we like. Atmosphere. We're not exactly the way like planes do. We just kind of go with the flow. Round shape. This is also, it's an amazing little special shape. On the edges. Able as I used to.
Is it demanding?
And it does take a lot more effort. It really. Today, it just doesn't do what you want it to. Like you still get a thrill out of flying from rubber duck.
6 a.m. on Saturday morning here.
6 a.m. Saturday morning. Helicopters are playing.
Right back
really
at
been
you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. You guys are it. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
So what?
In the fun fly zone, and we only got one runway, so we got to share a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon every day.
Every day.
Yep. So we have with us their area chairman, Jeff Downey. Jeff is the man who organizes all the volunteers who are in gyroplane operation to take.
Very good. We have a record here. Was our maximum.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's good.
Helicopters and auto gyros.
And I see it's a mixture of.
We do get some certified. Yes, we get. Single pass.
Over there, that's a mosquito. And correct me if I'm wrong. That
you can actually
put a turbine in there.
Absolutely.
I think we saw one fly a little earlier.
Absolutely.
It sounded good, didn't it? Yeah, it really had a good sound to it.
There's no jet here. Hank.
The starter engine for the big ones. We all that is a one. Yes, super view in that one. We have rotorway, and by the way, it's your 429. So that's a very, we're looking very.
See, helicopters.
I believe they still produce the ultralight version of it. And of course, you sit out in the open, it's bad idea.
Really bad idea.
Oh, we always advise take lessons.
Yeah.
Quite a different make and models of
Yep.
from a helicopter. A gyroplane is always in auto rotation. And the way to look at it. Because it helps gets it started, and then when it goes on the runway, it picks up speed. So it's always in auto rotation. It has a pusher prop. Now they can land at 0 to 10 feet. The gyroplanes, they need a little bit of runway to take off.
Yeah, so they don't have the vertical capability of the helicopter.
So,
well, I love helicopters. I think the rotorcraft portion of the Fun Fly Zone is getting bigger every year. It seems to me.
It is. We have Safari came out this year with
right there. It looks like a Hughes 500.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? They're working 2-seat rotor. Gyros, we have 5 or 6 different choices there. So I'd have to say there's plenty of choice.
That everyone was like, oh, even certified helicopter pilots flying. I wouldn't be caught anywhere near an experimental helicopter. Things have come a long ways in the last.
I'll tell you what, super excellent. Over here, they even fly for at EAA. They do very well.
There's a lot of quality. Make sure that their pilots. There's some checks and balances for these helicopters.
Absolutely. I believe they still have the policy until you have a license.
Okay.
Over every buyer. Think about it. Mosquito's been here 20 years, and they're doing their 50th anniversary. How many years they've been here, but it's their 50th one in business. They've been here more than Safari too, I believe. So long history.
Well-established companies. So it's a matter of people becoming proficient at flying them to really add to the safety element. Makes a big difference when you get
from Marianna, Florida. Mosquito is split between Canada and Florida, and Rotaway is out of Chandler, Arizona.
Now they have a big facility down there.
Big facility out there. I just moved into a brand new facility. So they grew out of the old one, which is a good sign.
That is good.
Very good sign. You bet. All over. Some kind of choices for auto gyros.
Aren't auto gyros getting more popular here in the United States? They're kind of migrating from Europe and getting more popular here.
Ferrari now. I mean, they're
They're
pretty
some
sharp.
slick-looking
Oh yes.
Things on track here in the rotorcraft area of the Fun Fly Zone. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much for asking.
Talking helicopters a little bit with us. It's
Come down anytime.
What's happening down
Tim takes, and you're always welcome to.
Jeff, J-Mon, gee, well, Tim, you know, it's another Fun Fly Zone year ticked off here.
Flew by
it
too,
just
huh?
flew by. Well, I mean, we're talking about such fun stuff. I mean, that's the thing, you know, that you get up there, you come down here and you know, they're flying and there's activity. And, you know, everyone's having a good time. There's food. Gosh, of air venture. J-Mon, that wraps up the hour. Tim.
Welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
We look forward to seeing you next year. And we'll be with Dave Jameson co-hosting business development with EAA, and we're going to talk innovation and as well. So we'll see you tomorrow. J-Mon Radio.
You're tuned to EAA Radio, 96.5 FM, EAAradio.net. Back to glass cockpit technology, all at once or in stages. Aspen provides
from Marianna, Florida. Mosquito is split between Canada and Florida, and Rotaway is out of Chandler, Arizona.
Now they have a big facility down there.
Big facility out there. I just moved into a brand new facility. So they grew out of the old one, which is a good sign.
That is good.
Very good sign. You bet. All over. Some kind of choices for auto gyros.
Aren't auto gyros getting more popular here in the United States? They're kind of migrating from Europe and getting more popular here.
Ferrari now. I mean, they're
some
pretty sharp.
slick-looking
Oh yes.
Things on track here in the rotorcraft area of the Fun Fly Zone. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much for asking.
Talking helicopters a little bit with us. It's
Come down anytime.
What's happening down there?
Tim takes, and you're always welcome to.
Jeff, J-Mon, well, Tim, you know, it's another Fun Fly Zone year ticked off here.
Flew by
it
too,
just
huh?
flew by. Well, I mean, we're talking about such fun stuff. I mean, that's the thing, you know, that you get up there, you come down here and you know, they're flying and there's activity. You know, everyone's having a good time. There's food. Gosh, of air venture. J-Mon, that wraps up the hour. Tim.
Welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
We look forward to seeing you next year. Jason co-hosting Business Development with EAA, and we're going to talk innovation and as well. So we'll see you tomorrow. JMOG Radio.
You're tuned to EAA Radio, 96.5 FM, EAAradio.net. Back to glass cockpit technology, all at once or in stages. Aspen provides back to glass cockpit technology, all at once or in stages. Aspen provides
Visit them on the AirVenture Oshkosh grounds in Hangar C at booth 3056. Thanks to Scheme Designers Inc. for supporting
in Oshkosh.
I like Wisconsin.
We live stream to every continent on the globe. It always has. Let us know where you're. Tag us with @EAA Radio or post to our Facebook page.
Good afternoon, Oshkosh.
There may be opportunities that exist, and he's taking everything off the airplane other than what's necessary to actually fly.
Tell us a little bit about the types of planes and what you do to make them really...
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll cover that in just a second. JMOG, we're on the fly now. Ultralight runway. We're literally right in front of the ultralight runway in the fun fly zone. You're listening to On the Fly on EAA Radio.
I'm Jack Hutton, Chairman and CEO of EAA AirVenture. EAA Radio.
support for EAA Radio comes from Scheme Designers, specializing in interior design and models, working with each design photos and contact information can be found on their Facebook page under Scheme Designers and at Scheme.
Give you the exact date. So it's been. That they couldn't. Too many people, too many airplanes, so they. The flying is great. Have a lot of wonderful cities. A number of us have been to Alaska and competed in the Valdez. And now we have several people that come down from Valdez to help put it on down here. So we all enjoy it. You know, I've watched some YouTube videos of the STOL competition with Valdez up there. And I notice it looks to me like the wind is always howling. Is the wind just always howling there? Well, it looks windy. Of course, we all love to put our noses into the wind and take off into the wind because it helps our... No, I wouldn't say it always howls, but normally while the weather's cool, we have some breeze in Valdez. It certainly is the ultimate place to show off for short takeoffs and landings. But we've had 2 great evenings here and expect to have another couple. We'll fly again tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock and again on Friday again at 8 o'clock. So anybody that would like to see some airplanes just out having fun and taking off short, well, please come down to the ultralight field on the grass and watch us, and that helps us.
You know, I'm real curious about the types of airplanes that we're flying out here. And, you know, I mean, last night when I was out here, I heard the announcer say that there are Cub out there, but it maybe had a 100 horsepower engine. And I know, Jeff, you got a PA11. Would that be something that you'd be interested in doing, maybe? Or?
I would probably have to modify my PA11 to do what they're doing. I think most of you guys have, modified over there, and that airplane, he's lighting that thing. I don't think
last night. And there was thousands of people lined up along the fence line here, just oohing and ahhing over the short operation. So coming here, traveling long distances to do, I know some people have actually where they have this competition.
Actually, the couple that puts it on for us and keeps us from just north of Anchorage. Lined up time-wise, but a number of us stole competition in Alaska, and that was true stole.